Well then. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Well then.
Yeah, so...
I want to talk about things.
You want to talk about things?
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't we put this at the end of that last 2-hour-long episode?
That sounds good.
You know, why couldn't we have taken more of the audience this time?
Look, I think it's a good idea to compose thoughts a little bit. Like, get to the end of the scene, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, and this is always a good way to remind people what happened.
This is also true. So, yeah, that entire sequence is pretty crazy. There are two kind of main things I want to touch on.
Hold on. What entire sequence was pretty crazy?
Oh my god. So, Rosa, like, saying, I killed Beatrice, and then telling us this story about how she went to a mansion in the middle of the forest.
Which we got Red Truth.
It exists.
From Ronove.
I should probably pull up those Red Truths so I can tell you what they actually were, but, because I have a list of them. But, it was... The mansion does exist.
Yeah.
The pair had a conversation like this in that place, and it's definitely dead. Those were the three ones that come to the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that was it.
The first two by Ronove and the third one by Beatrice, when she's referring to her corpse at the bottom of the cliff. Or I guess the corpse of somebody called Beatrice, question mark. Because she had this whole thing, she explained how, like, she was a witch that was trapped by Kinzo in a body, and then that body died, and then he made a homunculus and then put her soul in that, and then that body died, and then she became an actual, proper, formless witch again, like she had been originally. Now, of course, we are taking the anti-magic approach, are we not? I want to know what you think about that, bearing in mind, although we haven't said it explicitly, we are aware that these scenes that we're experiencing, including the ones that Rosa is narrating, could be falsified or could be, you know, misinterpretations. Only, like, not even for, like, malicious reasons, but just because Rosa might not remember the story appropriately or whatever the case might be. So, I don't know. Do you have any interpretation of all that soul shit and, like, Rosa's experience that you'd like to throw out there?
So I'm still going to stick with the theory that, like, the scenes that Battler is in and narrating are the ones that are true.
Sure.
The interesting trouble we're coming up against with now, as we pointed out many times, is that Battler is now narrating the Tea Party scenes.
This is true.
Which has interesting implications. But at least in the real world, you know, it was Rosa and Battler wasn't there.
Yeah, Battler hasn't been in any of the scenes for since the beach, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so Rosa was narrating that scene, and was also Rosa recalling things that she heard as a child.
Yep.
Or saw did as a child.
Yep.
And yeah, I
don't know. Do you have any thoughts about what all of that means? I feel like you could pull some truth out of that.
Yeah, the other interesting thing to me is in episode 2, when there was magic bullshit that went on in the game board, Battler wasn't aware of it.
Yep.
But
now he's very much like he's watching it and he's discussing with Beato about these things.
Yeah. It's interesting when we get to, like, scenes of murder and the actual mystery happening. Is Battler going to see these things now?
I don't know. It also seems like they're on a somewhat equal footing, which is something that we were told in the, like, intro description. It said, you're on equal footing with the witch, so, you know, get good.
Oh, that's right. We also got told that there are only 18 people in Red.
We also got told there are only 18... I forgot about that one, but yes.
That's kind of important.
Yeah. There are only 18 people.
On this game board.
On this... Yeah, it said... The exact wording was... Oh, fuck. I don't want to get it wrong. But the exact wording that I remember was there are no more than 18 people... 18...
It was explicitly humans.
Was it?
Yes, it was very explicitly humans.
Okay, humans. On this Rikenjima.
Yeah.
There you go. Easy. Alright, this is Kinzo.
Measuring time is a brutal thing. It drags itself all the way to the 24 over the course of a day, and then returns back to 0.
This is such a great quote.
It certainly did not count to 2359. However, is it ever able to reach 2400? If you conclude that it returns to 0 again without reaching 24, how futile it must all be. But perhaps a person's life is the same.
I really find it interesting that we're arguing how circles work right now.
Yeah. If it never gets to the end of the circle, then what is the point? Like, what is... If it, you know, continues on endlessly with no end, what's the point?
Yeah, endlessly.
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 The circle goes around endlessly.
Perhaps a person's life is the same. You live aiming for a perfect 24, and in the instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0.
I am different. I will live and reach 24. That itself is the Golden Land. That is where Beatrice dwells.
Kinzo had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck with a contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the results.
Doesn't that kind of
That's
defeat
not how
the
that
purpose?
works. That's not how that works. Kinzo, come on. The most forbidden, here we go. The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune telling, and also desecrates those beings higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because, since they're nothing more than a random number generator, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot cards' results. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take tarot reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest until he reached the result most favorable to him. The mark he set for this most favorable result would vary, but when he demanded the most favorable result in a strictly literal sense, it was the same as a simple roulette of luck, where he seeked an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinzo used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so this functioned perfectly well as a magical ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over, with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they will be sublimated into results. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Therefore, even though Kinzo's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different.
Tonight will not go as I thought.
Kinzo stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't show up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinzo wished for.
Is that how it is?
Kinzo seemed to have received some revelation that was different from normal, but judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his desk, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver and dialed.
It is I. Is Genji there? An urgent matter has come up.
Oh shit.
I thought the internal telephones were cut too.
Yeah, at some point during the night, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. In front of the entrance hall, Shannon's once burning pace had been cooled off by the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come, sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally, and she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Could she have thought about her future more seriously?
I wonder if my immediate reply made him think I'm a cheap girl. If I'd at least waited until tomorrow morning, would that at least have shown him I was taking this seriously?
Now that she'd already received the
go.
ring from George, Shannon kept fidgeting in embarrassment.
I'm glad you picked up on that quicker than I did.
I should have done this, I should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through puddles. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside of her.
Genji-sama? And Kennen-kun too. I'm sorry, I have to go back soon.
So ready. She grew stiff, thinking she'd surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lover's meeting with George.
Shannon, the master told us to come to the study, saying it was urgent. Let us hurry.
Yes, certainly. What in the world?
He said he had a premonition of misfortune. How convenient for him, considering he's the one who started the ceremony. We will enter from the back, so that Golda does not notice us. Hide your footsteps.
Yes. Nei-san, take care. You're so noisy. Kennen was especially good at hiding his footsteps, just like a cat. He was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing and leave in the same way. For example, even though he stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of the rain hitting them. Genji also had abilities of that kind, or rather, those servants called furniture were supposed to be like that. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family, these servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there whenever they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps were still strongly assertive themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kennen and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion.
Oh boy, what's happening?
I don't know. Immediately, they thought they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses. This hard to describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different than usual. Genji-sama. Indeed. Let us hurry. A sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, heading for Kinzo's study while still hiding their footsteps. When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison, particularly to Kinzo's study, reached their noses.
What is it, Genji-sama?
The barrier. It's dead.
Huh?
After hearing Kanon's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob, a powerful ward against magic. The final barrier which protected Kinzo himself. It had been broken. Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that the eye could see. However, those who could understand things people couldn't perceive were able to recognize that a dramatic change had occurred.
Master! Master! It is Genji. Please, open the door.
Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the study.
Shannon, guard our backs. Kanon, search inside the room.
Yes.
The hell was that voice you just did for Cannon?
Don't worry about it. Kanon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected. The master must be in there, but it's too quiet.
Do you mean to say he's safe?
No, it's too quiet.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
It's too quiet.
How old is this forest? Very old.
Very old. Incredibly.
I love...
Look, they're nervous.
Could it possibly be?
Master, excuse us about the door.
Oh, I hope he was about to kick it.
Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed, other than the one Kinzo held. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At first glance, that seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sound just now meant that the door had now been opened even for humans.
Excuse me.
I love it when they put things in all bold.
As Genji respectfully bowed his head and Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting on the reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him and again bowed deeply. Kanon also noticed that person, but he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Shannon already had a good idea who it was.
So, you have come, Beatrice-sama.
You didn't feel that, but that activated the moment I hit the spacebar after the comma.
Clever. Genji, is it? You came very quickly. Yes, it is always best when furniture answers to their master's call quickly.
Stares to the side and run away.
Unlike this person. Unlike this person.
So, Umineko-sama has come as well.
I was joking.
He's in your head. Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Even Kanon and Shannon would never have imagined that someone was there. However, the darkness responded immediately and praised Genji's eyesight. Ah, yes.
As usual, you do not disappoint. It has been quite some time. Still, you've grown old, haven't you? Have so many years truly passed you by? My days have been full and satisfying. It appears you have been living quite a full life yourself, Umineko-sama.
Yes, thank you.
And Shannon, it has been a long time since I saw you as well. You have gone quite beautiful, and it seems that you have gone quite strong. That is fortunate.
Thank you very much.
Nei-san, who in the world? This will be our first meeting, Kanon-kun. I, Umineko, have been entrusted with the position of Beatrice-sama's head furniture. I am an old friend of Genji-san's, and I am also furniture just like you. Although, the master I serve is a bit different.
The tense color didn't disappear from Kanon's face in the slightest. Depending on the master furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then he must be despicable as well. It seems I'm thoroughly despised. It's as though you hate everything that has anything to do with me. Beatrice openly sneered at Cannon's hate-filled face. Then, Cannon finally realized. Beatrice and Kinzo were having a chess game across the reception table, but Kinzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight as he contemplated his next move, or was he in anguish?
Master.
I have told Kinzo two things. There was good news and bad news. The good news is that he'll have the good fortune of being reunited with me before the ceremony ends. The bad news is that Kinzo has been selected as the very first sacrifice in the ceremony. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it, because it truly was decided by the fickle roulette. Liar! We know you're just a murderer who kills for fun.
Stop it, Cannon-kun.
So, Kinzo, isn't it about time you decide to accept your loss? With this, our long contest is at an end, yes? At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation on that chaotic chessboard.
I find it interesting. He's like, I want to see your face again, and there she is sitting in front of him, and he's
Yeah, this is a bit weird, I think. He's not happy with losing, seemingly. However, judging by Kinzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seemed to be over already.
It is unavoidable. Perhaps even this could be amusing.
It is to me too. Resolving my contest with you may bring a flood of emotions, but it has already surpassed love and hate. It was fun. These past 2 decades certainly weren't boring. Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move, and that decided it. Checkmate. This is my final tribute to you. Without any reservations, sleep. Kinzo suddenly stopped and laughed, like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan.
Oh my god, I swear.
It's happening.
If Kinzo, has toyed with the ceremony and just fucked shit up, I'll be so on board.
That laugh spat crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose, and all at once his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magical tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, watching over Kinzo in ecstasy as he burned. And, for one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end, in accordance with those terms. After laughing and howling in the roaring flames for some time, Kinzo flopped to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up, and afterwards nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is the magical explanation for why he's always burned. Well, it was burned the first time at least.
Is that accidental spoilers he was just throwing at me?
No. The first time.
Yeah,
in the first game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had been thinking that, actually, that maybe Kinzo was the first one killed.
Maybe.
But I have yet to look over the timing of who had
Well,
alibis.
that's what Battler said. He was like, traditionally in mystery stories, the corpse is burned to prevent identification or to obscure the time of death.
Yeah.
And that was Ava's theory about Nazi. Horrible. You should talk, as if you didn't think that was a fitting way for him to die. Why have you shown yourself? Do you have some business with us?
Stop it, Cannon-kun. You mustn't provoke Beatrice-sama.
It would seem you had them absolutely terrified. I imagine I'll never get along with Cannon. It's not as though I dislike you particularly. Beatrice grinned. Cannon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch and her butler laugh. Cannon, you stand in the presence of Beatrice-sama. Carefully consider your manner of speech. Speak slowly like me. Oh, I cannot, Genji. Let him say what he pleases. I am gracious. How are you gracious? I am always gracious to those who are about to die. Cannon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's life. The first Twilight required 6 sacrifices. Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough, and they just casually walked in here. Fear not, Cannon. It isn't as though you'll be selected as sacrifices just because you came here. After all, you were called here because you've been selected already.
I probably should have said something earlier, but the idea popped into my head that because we've now narrowed it to 18 humans, I reckon they're going to knock off all of the people that aren't related to Battler.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny such a thing.
So it's just going to be like, you have, like, emotional attachment to everyone now.
We'll have to see. What? Their instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? In this mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here. Nailed it.
Is that what you desire?
Indeed. Thank me, furniture. Tonight, your days of suffering will finally end. You ought to thank me for coming here to tell you this.
Certainly, if that is your desire. Genji-sama.
Genji had agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor, without raising an eyebrow.
Now that the master is dead, Beatrice-sama is our master. Responding to her demands shall be our final duty. Shannon. Cannon, you have done well serving until today. That hard work is now over. As I expected of you, Genji. As your fellow furniture, I am proud to have known you. Shannon, do you have any objections?
No.
I heard that George-sama gave you a ring. Do you still say that you have no regrets?
How did he hear that it just happened?
It's a great question.
Yes. That blessing was more than furniture deserves. Just receiving the ring has already satisfied my feelings.
Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face.
Very well. It does surprise me a tad to find that you've gained such composure, Shannon. It seems you too have taken a philosophical view as furniture.
Won't you at least shed some bitter tears for not being able to spend a night with the man you love? What a boring woman.
This feeling cannot be understood by the likes of you, Beatrice-sama. If you desire our lives, please accept them. We will solemnly carry out that duty.
Very well. Excellently put. Just the type of person Beatrice-sama can't handle.
She's been taking such a far-sighted view of things lately. I must have tumulted her too much last time. Speaking of which, didn't I do the same to Battler? Am I still soft?
Oh no, she's speaking about it in character now. Oh,
am I still
everything
soft?
is falling apart.
It's great. The blinds are blurring between the worlds of magic and reality.
Oh god.
Or is the way I corner them lacking? In any case, she's just no fun. However, it seems you will still entertain me, right? Cannon!
Cannon can...
Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Cannon's face. Cannon was still far too young to accept his demise after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch. Cannon, I hate boredom more than anything, and the fact that the other two have obediently accepted their deaths isn't amusing at all, so I hope you don't betray my expectations.
Are you trying to make me your plaything?
Cannon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't had a chance of victory from the beginning, but the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two the only way he could strike back at her? Nah, boy. That's a dumb plan. Eldest of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer.
Wait, what?
Arrives.
That's not what the first Twilight is. Lucifer of Pride right here.
Cannon. It would be far too cruel to force furniture to fight a witch. No matter how much anger spurs you on, you would have no hope in a battle without a chance of success. Of course, such a battle would be boring for me as well. So, let it be furniture against furniture. Why not resolve it with a battle between you two? That should be enough to allow you some hopeful victory, right?
Forgive me, Beatrice-sama, but how could I be inferior to this good-for-nothing furniture? As if this cutie would have any chance against me.
God damn it, Lucifer. Prove that you can defeat my furniture, the 7 sticks of purgatory. If you manage to win through...
All 7.
Let us see. I will let you select the 5 who will escape becoming one of the 13 sacrifices. I will welcome the 5 you recommend into the Golden Land without any conditions. How about that? Cannon understood that he was being provoked.
What? Wait, but what? Without any conditions?
Yeah, without any conditions.
Oh god. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Ken's being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. You get Jessica there.
Oh my god, there is just nothing good that could come of this if he
It'll be
wins.
fine. Don't worry about it. By this point, Cannon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest
Oh my
were trying
god,
to
if he
carry
selects
out.
Battler, I swear to god.
On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land and have his wish granted by Beatrice there. You cried, saying you'd had enough of being furniture, right? I shall grant your desire. I shall give you that human body you wanted so much you cried yourself to sleep. What do you say? That way you and Jessica could be together, yes. Oh, just perfect. You may recommend that Jessica and yourself be invited to the Golden Land. If you alone finding happiness isn't a satisfying solution for you, then you can add
I
Shannon
love
and
you started in
George.
canon and then quickly realized.
It's okay. You can add in Shannon and George, the one she loves. If you're worried about Judy, then you can also add Genji. Oh, that's 5 people. Isn't that enough, Cannon? With this much of a reward, you won't let me get bored, will you?
She's just playing with you. There's no need to listen to her.
I don't like it. You okay with this, Nasan? Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words.
I don't like it. I want to be happy. I've had enough of being furniture. Wait,
This is definitely...
canon.
I want to become human and have normal love. I want to know that the ocean is blue like you. How young. I am jealous. That's why I like the young ones. Genji, Shannon, stand back. Cannon,
Piano
Lucifer.
cut very suddenly.
Yes, it did. Cannon, Lucifer, forward.
As you command. Here we go. Fight time.
Dots.
Fight time. I don't like it. That way you look down on me. As if Beatrice would be impossible. But with me at least you'd have a chance. I really don't like it.
Remember, she's... Oh, well, it's going to tell us later, but she's of pride.
Yeah.
Remember? That was probably humiliating for Lucifer, but at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself. Come, furniture of the witch. Don't think that you can look down on me forever. Oh, shit.
Here it comes.
Oh!
What is going on?
Blades out!
Blades out, boys!
Blades out for all the boys. Blades out for all the boys.
Hey.
Wait, what's happening?
It's a good question.
I think she's taunting him. Oh,
I
shit.
think so.
Oh!
That's a cannon strike.
Yeah. You got this.
Is that a defeat?
I don't know.
What is going on? Oh, now he's taunting. He's beckoning. Oh, it looks like more even fight now.
Oh, shit, commentary! So, Battler, isn't this a fun show?
Damn it! Another weird thing's happening. Like I'll ever believe in a magic battle. I love this.
This is really good.
Oh, so much. Because if they just done the swords, it'd just be like, oh,
weird,
again.
Yeah. Look, don't turn your eyes away. Look at it. Look. It's magic, it's furniture. No matter how much you try to deny me and magic. Look. If you got all this happening right in front of you, it'd be a waste to miss it, don't you think? Look. Just stop thinking. Magic exists. This is fantasy. Don't close your eyes. Look closely. Look.
Damn it. I won't accept witches, I won't accept magic. But if it's being... Oh, wait a minute. Battler is seeing the magic scenes, just like I said.
He is.
Oh, boy. But if it's being done right in the open like that, what am I supposed to say? Damn it.
Come now, don't turn away. Look closely, okay? Magic exists as a fantasy, so stop playing detective. I know your secret. You actually don't really like to think of things through, right? Then just stop. Look. It's gonna be fantasy.
Shut up. Don't talk to me.
What?
This guy's getting stubborn. Would you apologize and crawl on the ground right now for being so conceited you thought you could beat me? If you did, I wouldn't mind forgiving you, okay? And you two wouldn't have to have your skin ripped off while you're still alive, or get lashed all over your body as you squirm until you die.
It's only natural.
You're a cutie, so apologize. If you do, I'll finish you off so gently while it still feels great.
Be silent, Furniture the Witch. I have no intention of speaking with you.
Oh boy.
As I speak with you. God damn it.
So you're saying you think nothing of me? That disrespectful gaze of yours is really ticking me off. I feel like this is getting quicker.
Yeah. It's great.
Anakin. I really want him to win and pick Battler. I want it to happen now.
Isn't he stronger than he was against Satan? This is why humans are so frightening. In fact, sometimes they even become witches and treat demons as butlers.
Wow.
Cool. So, which should I cheer on?
She was definitely making fun of Renove just then.
Really? What gave it away?
He's not gonna dumb laugh, it's an amazing laugh.
Are you saying this guy's on par with me?
Don't look down on me. As long as you have that pride, you'll never defeat me.
Dun, dun, dun. You speak of Lucifer, the eldest of the seven sisters of Purgatory, and say that I cannot win? How conceited. What is going on right now? It's still getting quicker.
She's powering up for something. Oh!
What?
Cannon was desperately trying to stay alive, and he had a strong desire to become human, but Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play, so that led to an inevitable result. It was a result that could be reached by the power of humans, the power of the heart. That's as far as you go. You cannot win against me. The glowing red curve extended straight out from Cannon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat, just beneath the tip of her chin.
What is this? How can I? There must be some mistake.
As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her. Oh, well done, Cannon. Wonderful, you haven't bored me. How pitiful my furniture is compared to that.
Lucifer, you are boring my lady. Was this opponent really too much for you to handle?
I'm disappointed, eldest of the seven stakes. It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, Furniture serving the witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid.
You good-for-nothing furniture?
She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake, which bounced off the walls surrounding the room.
How could you shame me so much? Kill, kill, kill! You blockhead! Even though you can't even follow my movements anymore. I won't play around anymore. I'm seriously mad. I'll piece your heart in one blow. I'll plow right through you, make a fountain of bright red blood reach the ceiling. Die! Cannon. I love how ridiculous the animations are for the
So
stakes.
great.
Has this stake just fucked up the Twilights?
Let's find out. After flying about wildly for some time, with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Cannon's heart. She could tell that it was Cannon's blood by the sweet taste of it. But she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart. Oh.
This is why humans are frightening. Would you like some black tea?
I'm fine for now. This is so amusing, I don't even need any.
Cannon. Yeah, fuck up them Twilights, girl.
Yep.
You are arrogant again. I told you that you wouldn't be able to defeat me.
That was me.
What?
Or was that? No,
No,
was
that's
that
Cannon. What are you talking about?
Oh, there we go.
The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Cannon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Cannon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart.
So these stakes aren't really great as a piercing weapon, it seems, despite being purely a piercing weapon.
Yeah, Lucifer was arrogant, even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her. In her pride, she believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So, just as she has announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of Pride. Cannon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake, sticking deep into his left hand, struggling with his right hand, and pulled it out. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand, so big you could clearly see through to the other side. Cannon's face was filled with pain,
It's also out of frame, conveniently enough.
but right now, he had won, without a doubt.
It's a new face.
The demon's stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so the cannon was now gripping exactly where her neck was. Damn!
I want to see this
She's
face.
crying. Oh my god. Come on!
Awful.
She's a mess. She just wanted to stab him in the heart. Come on. It's my victory, Beatrice. Cannon didn't hold back at all with the hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Cannon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Cannon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat. Spectacular, Cannon. Your great efforts have proven the correctness of some of Kinzo's research. Renove was clapping his hands, his beautiful gloved hands. The Cannon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close. Renove's applause only felt like mockery.
Grammatical errors, yay!
I know, 2 in 1 sentence. All possibilities dwell within the human heart, was it? My, this is why humans are so frightening. Well done, Cannon. You were victorious. Spectacular.
Now do we have the other 6 stakes to beat? That was the impression I got.
Are you okay? Oh, that would be Shannon.
You okay, Cannon?
Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood. That was incredible, Cannon. Truly incredible. Even I was hoping at least a little for an upset. That you didn't let me down makes you truly splendid furniture. I think better of you now, truly. I honestly think better of you. You haven't forgotten our promise, right, Beatrice? Indeed. Of course I haven't forgotten. Witches and demons may be inhumane, however, we are much more noble than humans when it comes to keeping promises. I will not go back on my very specific word. I guarantee that if you won, I would give you the right to decide the 5 people who escape becoming the 13 sacrifices.
Beatrice, it's not like I've...
Damn. Fucking Cannon. Oh no, Beatrice! When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer.
What?
So as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling.
Okay.
The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor, however, people who've fallen it upside down and head first usually don't agree. Milady, isn't that a little much? Perhaps you are right. I suppose I'll forgive her. Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer
And she fell back down.
was released. So as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. Whoa!
What is this animation?
So good.
So dodgy.
I know. I love it.
Beatrice, forgive me.
Stop crying. Oh my God. What are you so afraid of? I have already forgiven you, haven't I? So, Cannon, shall we continue? Continue what? You aren't saying you want me to finish her, are you? Oh, no. It isn't over yet, right? What isn't? Stop dodging the question. I did promise you your reward, didn't I? If you could defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory, right?
6 more.
Someone's on board with this game.
I'm up to date with my weird wording play.
Come, arise, the 7 stakes of purgatory, the 6 younger sisters of the worthless elder sister. Here they come.
Yeah.
There you are.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, split with shrill laughter. And as a golden splash scattered about, the remaining 6 sisters of purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of purgatory were here after Cannon was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Cannon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. Yeah, he had been foolish to assume that a game against a witch would be on even footing.
Lame. Oni-sama, why are you crawling on the floor? You people. I told you Oni-sama's useless. Even though she acts like she's so great just because she's the oldest, that's only on the outside. Yes, seriously, Lucifer Oni-sama, your disgraceful behavior will damage the reputation of us all. Know your shame, you novice.
Damn.
Cannon-kun, that was totally awesome! Don't get cocky, okay? Lucifer Oni-sama brags all the time, but she's no big deal compared to the rest of the sisters. That's why I'm always saying Lucifer-ne-san shouldn't do anything. Just let her keep bragging all the time. After all, those of us with talent can handle all the tough jobs. What are you gonna do, Oni-sama? Out of respect for your pride, we were planning to stay out of your way in the hopes you'd challenge him again in that beat-up body of yours. But Cannon-kun sure is strong, right? Right now, no matter how much you struggle, there's no way you could win, right? I can't wait for him to win.
You people. Ugh. My. You sisters are always so lively. Is this any time to fight amongst yourselves? It's only together that you're the 7 stakes of purgatory, correct? Now play nice and execute the tasks I give you, starting with cannon.
Specifically execute.
And swiftly, okay?
Hey, Lucifer, Onisama, if you want to borrow the power of your little sisters, then say it, okay? We want to hear you ask us for help with your own mouth. Do you plan to mock me even more? I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful Lucifer, the elder sister, beg my younger sisters to save me. Come on, let's hear it. If you let us hear that, we'll save you, okay? I'm so glad I gave them all the same voice, because I honestly could not remember who had which voice.
That's okay.
Bitch!
Damn.
The 7 sisters of purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister.
I love that they're closing in on her, not Cannon. Cannon's gonna just fuck them up from behind, please.
Abusing her. Even Cannon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it.
As if I could say something like that.
Quickly now. Clearly we won't make any progress here with you alone. Hurry up, let these 7 sisters strike Cannon. Oh, my. What is the matter, Lucifer? This is an order for milady, is it not? How cruel. After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request.
Alright, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful.
Don't forget shameful.
And shameful Lucifer, the elder sister, beg.
It's crying. No!
This is so bad.
Oh my god. Lucifer, please. The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying and broke down crying. Oh. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly.
Yay! Well, how wonderful.
What a great family, yeah.
Arguably still better than the Ashuramia family.
Arguably, yes.
Wait a sec, don't try to trick us by crying. You haven't finished saying it. That should be enough. Come, sisters, let's display our power. We'll be satisfied till they hear the whole thing, okay? Come on, Onisama, keep going. That's enough. Chanting.
Yeah.
Come on, this shame affects us all. We won't let them leave here alive. Okay, how should we play with this pitiful furniture? Any wonderful plans? Yeah.
Beelzy.
Beelzy?
That's her nickname. That's Beelzebub's nickname.
I figured. Beelzy thinks the 7 of us should get along and split Cannon up between us. Good idea. That way all of the sisters can get along. And I'll take the head. I'll leave the limbs and guts to you all. No, I get the head. Oh my god, please, Cannon, just fuck them up while they're talking. There's no way that promise will mean anything, right? First one that wins. Cannon-kun, if you've got any ideas for how we should kill you, just tell us, okay? The 7 sisters will kill you all in an awesome way.
Ah, damn.
You shame me so deeply. Slicing you into 8 pieces won't be enough. I'll slice you into 100 pieces. Here we go, everyone.
Oh, battle formation.
Yes, Onisama. Fuck them up.
The 7 of them burst at once. They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order. Hit Cannon down, swiftly. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Cannon. They tortured Cannon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. There we go. Death by 1,000 stakes. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, gradually carving red letters into his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding onto him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little.
Here we go!
Oh shit. Furniture against furniture, let's go. Cool. At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Cannon.
What? You're mean! This has nothing to do with you. I see, you must want to play with us. Then I'll take it. All mine. Beatrice-sama, can we take Shannon as our prey?
I don't mind, do as you like. It seems Cannon alone would be enough to satisfy your gluttony.
You have our deepest gratitude. Come on, I'll make you regret coming out uninvited. I'll turn you into scraps of meat so unrecognizable you won't be able to tell which is which. Mix you and mince you into hamburgers.
It's fucked up.
Idiot, breaking that barrier should come first, right? Don't let your gluttony in the way of your job. Yes, Onisama.
As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, Frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it, and it was firm like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the Seven Sisters, chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying, but not impossible.
I just want the furniture to win so they can just pick Battler to die and fuck it all up. I want it to happen.
A sound like beetles jumping about grew even fiercer and filled the room. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with a hatchet, a saw, no, a chainsaw by now. How foolish. Even though you must know that your barrier can't fully protect you from these girls. Why?
Because I couldn't overlook it.
As Shannon covered Cannon, who was already his limits, sprawled on the floor, she spoke back resolutely. If you hadn't barged in uninvited, I would have given you a death-like sleep. Why have you gone to all the trouble of exposing yourself before the Seven Sisters? Not all deaths are the same. And a cruel death, goddamn. A cruel death will cause you far more anguish than merely dying.
I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. Go ahead, do as you like. Just as you always do. What you want, I did what I wanted.
At any rate, you're not quite amusing at the present moment. Romance is most interesting when you're wondering whether it will succeed or not. Once it does succeed, a woman is like a salmon who has finished laying its eggs. I have already tired of you.
Thank you. No words from a witch would make me happier.
Doom! Then at least in the end, let me see you die in a truly entertaining manner. Seven Sisters, can you hear me? Kill Shannon in a way that shows me the limits of brutality. Shannon.
My apologies. In the end, I wasn't able to reach your level, Genji-sama.
You're an idiot, Nasan. If you just let me be, then you might have had to meet a horrible end.
No, it's fine. I received a ring from George-sama and lived as a woman. I've protected you and lived as a sister. With this, my life is complete, with no regrets.
You're pissing me off. That philosophical talk, take, really is irritating. Like I said, you're furniture. You don't even smell like a human. Look at me, I am a human. Don't spout a philosophical crap like you're more complete than I am you. Furniture. What?
18 humans on the island, but furniture isn't human, Ben.
You don't think so?
Apparently not.
Maybe.
How ugly. Those regrets, what you truly are.
They aren't regrets. They aren't regrets. This is called living. What's this about not minding if you die just because you were given a ring? I can't understand it. It's incomprehensible. It's disappointing, outrageous, stunning. It's all useless.
Hey!
Milady, perhaps you're acting a tad undignified. Shut up, furniture. Shannon, do you think I'll let you die so easily? Now's the time to bite your tongue.
How pitiful. If you can see yourself reflected in my eyes, then shudder at your own ugliness.
Fear not. Once I've crushed you up, you'll be much more ugly even while you still live.
Genji's inside the barrier.
At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then, Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand.
Genji-sama.
You've already done enough. Go to sleep before me.
Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama.
Indeed.
What is even happening?
After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out.
What?
I know. It's weird.
But why?
When Genji removed his hand, bright red, fresh blood oozed out of there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose. More rose imagery.
But roses have thorns.
This is true. When he removed his right hand, covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. And then she fell softly, silently, and slept.
Wait.
Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and the Seven Sisters stunned. Only Renove wore a mysterious smile. Then, Genji leaned over Cannon, who was crouching on the floor.
Yes.
You did well. You should sleep now too. Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama. Just as he had done with Shannon, he He softly covered Cannon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the area around Cannon's collarbone with his other hand. And when his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out.
What is that?
What a boring person. Even though it's so fun to poke the balloon of life with a needle so that it falsely explodes. Spectacular, Genji. You truly are furniture. Thank you very much. Well then, Beatrice-sama, Ronave-sama, with this as my final task, allow me to rest. Damn you, snatching away all my fun. Why don't I take all the thrashing and mashing I want to do to them, and give it to you instead? Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Ronave spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile. You have worked very hard. You are my greatest servant. As a final gift, I shall bestow upon you a peaceful sleep, fitting for all the labors you have performed. What? Wait, it's not your place to... Ronave snapped his fingers. Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut.
What?
Yep.
But...
Ronave snapped his fingers and Genji slumped to the floor.
But... his furniture...
Yeah.
Want to stroke your chin more aggressively there?
Can't see it, but I did stroke my chin more aggressively. Suddenly, and yet gently, he crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shannon and Cannon.
Fuck, Ronave.
I thought there was going to be more narration there. What was that, Ronave? What a boring anticlimax. Are you not the mighty great witch, milady? What happened here is hardly worthy of your concern. It isn't like you to let the provocation of someone like Shannon get to you. Well, what's she doing? Where's she going? What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Ronave laughed lightly as though lamenting the complexity of humanity in a woman's heart and ordered the Seven Sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The Seven Sisters disappeared in ecstasy. End of chapter.
What even just happened?
Oh, that was great. I love that scene.
That was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Genji's Rodave's furniture, apparently. Weird.
It is very strange.